I'm going to camp here for a couple of nights. Going to do a fireside chat. Hang out here. It's supposed to really rain for the next 2 days, so got a couple of big tarps. I'm going to get that all set up. I got my bed all ready. Tarps all up nice in case it pours rain on us. Fireside chat about 2 legendary lost gold mines. Okay, and one in BC, one in Alberta. First of all, I want to cook something up. I'm going to cook up a burger, have something to eat, then build the fire up for the fireside chat. Okay, that looks ready. Let it cool for a second there. Here, eat that. That's your burger, done the way you like it. So, build the fire up. I'm going to tell you 2 legendary stories. Some of it might be myth, but I know for a fact that these people actually existed. I know the stories well. First story is about a guy named Slumac. He was bringing in nuggets into New Westminster in the old days. People tried following him. I'll start off first of all. I used to watch this show in the old days. It was called Gold Trails and Ghost Towns, and basically Bill Barley was the guy. He knew everything. He knew everything about gold, everything about the gold rush. He remembered everybody's names that were involved, everything. He had a lot of artifacts from some of these miners of the old days that he had bought or found at auctions, and he knew everything about it. He wrote 4 books about the gold rush, ghost towns, and I had all his books. So I know a lot of the information, and I watched his show. It was on for 10 years. But one time, Dad, my brother, a friend of the family, and his dad, we all went looking for Slumac's mine up a town called Elvin at the end of Pit Lake. And we went up there looking around, but you know, over 100 years or more, lots of people had looked for this mine of Slumac's. I mean, who doesn't like gold? We went up there and we panned around. But here's the thing to keep in mind, like gold is pretty prevalent actually. Almost anywhere that I've panned, I find colors. But of course, all the big stuff has been found throughout the last 150, 200 years. Anywhere you go, you find gold. But it's just colors or little flakes. We're talking the huge gold that they got in the old days, the surface gold nuggets. But apparently Slumac was coming into New Westminster, BC with bagfuls of big nuggets, like the size, they say, of walnuts. People tried for him, he had always eluded them. There was actually a TV show about this, and there was a bunch of prospectors, recent TV show, like a couple years ago, and they were looking for Slumac's mine, and they were all up Pitt River, Pitt Lake, and then they went up into Harrison. Nobody's been able to find this lost mine of Slumac's. Slumac ended up going to jail. Ended up shooting a guy that was coming up the river in a canoe. Him and a buddy. The buddy survived. The one guy got shot, and then the buddy went back and reported it to the cops, who then put out a manhunt for Slumac. He finally confessed that he had shot this guy, turned himself in, and went to the BC penitentiary in New Westminster. And they actually ended up hanging him. Nobody knows where that mine is to this day. It's just one of those things, but I went looking. Hundreds and hundreds of people are still looking. Never been found. we'll get into a second story here. This one's actually even more intriguing in a sense, called the Lost Lemon Mine. It's in Alberta, just over the BC border. It's about a guy, his name was Frank Lemon, and his partner, Blackjack. Apparently, these guys, they found the mother lode, not just nuggets, but a vein of gold that you could just take a pick and chip chunks of gold out. As the story or legend goes, they found this somewhere between the town of Coleman and the Highwood River. And this is around 1879, okay, when they discovered this. Basically, they camped out, but they got in a big dispute over the gold. Frank wanted to pack out as much as he want, or they could carry. Blackjack, he said, well, let's go back and get some guys to help us mine it, and they got in this big argument. So that night, Frank ended up killing his partner who discovered the gold with him, Blackjack. What he didn't realize is that at that time, like, this is the territory of the Blackfoot natives. They had been followed for days by two warriors from the tribe that actually witnessed them finding the gold, and also they saw Frank kill his partner. The mystery deepens because the two warriors, they went back to the chief Bear's Paw, and they told him what happened. They said, well, these two guys, prospectors, they found all this gold, and then the one guy killed his partner. Chief said, well, we're going to keep it quiet. And then basically, as the legend goes, he put a curse on that area that anybody that found this location of gold, the source of this gold, he put a curse on it. Now the story gets even more intriguing. Now I don't know how many people believe in curses, but I kind of do. This chief Bear's Paw, I mean, he was an old warrior, he was the chief, the medicine man, and when he put a curse on this, why would the following events take place if it didn't work out, or if it isn't true? So anybody since that time that's gone looking for or has apparently discovered this has had weird things happen where they either disappear or they die mysteriously. After that, there was another fella, Lafayette French fella, and he knew about this as well. He claims that he discovered where the source was, where Frank had discovered the gold and Blackjack, and he even made a map of the area, right where it was, this and that. So he was staying in a trapper's cabin, and now he found the source of the gold, apparently. Well, the night that he found the gold, cabin burned down. He escaped with his life, but the maps were gone, destroyed, and everything, but he had it in his mind anyway. So he made his way into town, and then he wrote a letter to his friend Dan Riley, and he says, I found the gold. Come and join me. We'll go back in there and get this gold. So this Dan Riley, he shows up to meet up with him and this and that. Well, he suddenly had died of pneumonia. So now, obviously, the trip's off. There's been dozens of rumors of people looking for this, that they found people looking for it that just perished. Who knows? Hypothermia, could be whatever. But just mysterious deaths surrounding this lost lemon mine. Is the curse true? I think it could be. Nobody's ever discovered that either. Other people have gone looking, like I say, gone missing. But that's a big area to look. He confessed to a priest that, yeah, I killed my partner, we found all this gold. And the priest actually, after his demise, organized a search party, and that went all wrong. He got John McDougall, and he went out looking for this, and within the first couple of days, he drank too much and died of alcohol poisoning, if you can believe it. The search party failed. They returned home. Now nobody knew where it was again. And just on and on these stories go. And there's people still looking for the lost lemon mine to this day. Will it ever be found? Recent stories from the 40s and the 50s is that a rock slide may have buried the actual location and nobody can actually get to it. That's That's the latest information that I know of. But here's something interesting. I actually got an email from a production company in the UK, like out of London. They got a hold of me and then they phoned me. I said, well, here's my number, give me a call. And they wanted to know if I knew anything about the Lost Lemon Mine. And I said, well, yeah, I know approximately where it is. I know the whole story of the Lost Lemon Mine. I've read the books. They wanted a survivalist to go and look for the Lost Lemon Mine. They even said, kind of a silly question, well, do you know where it is? And I'm thinking, I didn't say it, but I'm thinking, well, if I knew where it was, do you think I'd tell you just for a TV show? Don't you think I'd go and get the gold myself? That was kind of a strange question. That fell through. They never really pursued it, I imagine, because they never got back to say, okay, we're going this time, that time, and whatever. But interesting stuff. I believe that really it is a cursed mine. So like this production company wanted me to go look for it, try to help them. They wanted a survival guy that's good in the bush, send a crew, camera crew, everything else. Lost mines and all these treasures that, and they are out there because these are true stories, but a lot of it I think is embellished. But at the same time, I believe the Lost Lemon Mine will never be found. Same as Slumac. It's one of those things, we all love a treasure hunt, right? I do. I always have a gold pan in my truck. I'm going to try panning this creek, and actually I saw a gravel bank just up the road here that I want to try. It's very interesting, layered. Black, dark dirt, and then iron ore type gravel and layered. And I want to try that before this video's over and see if there's any colors. Just finding colors even is amazing. But I don't recommend going looking for the Lost Lemon Mine or Slumac Lost Mine or any of that. Be great to find. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. I got a good one coming up. Right on. Okay, well, the first thing I want to do is clean my pan out. Make sure there's no colors from a previous panning situation. I've seen colors get stuck to the bottom. Make sure there's nothing. Otherwise, you know, you don't know where you found it. Oh, you think it's from this spot, but it's actually something that was in the pan from previous. I got half a pail. I'll have to it'll take a little bit of time. And you know what I was thinking when the that production people about the show to look for the Lost Lemon Mine is maybe I should go and check that area for some gold. I've never panned that area. I know approximately where they supposedly found it, and just pan around and see. Quite a bit in here. It'll take me a bit of time. I see black sand, which is always a good sign. No guarantees there's any colors here, but I always check spots, like I say, that gravel that looks like that, layered, different colors, and especially with the iron ore. Thought I saw a flake, but it wasn't. You sure wouldn't make any money panning. Back in the old days, they made money at it, but at like $3 or $4 an ounce. But they were finding, you know, nuggets like this. Got to take your time when you're panning, or your gold will float out if you do it too fast. Okay, let's see. Is there any sign of anything? Well, I just don't see anything. Not even a color. But, never hurts to try. It just doesn't. Thanks for watching. Got good videos coming up this year. I promise. I'm going to do some survival stuff too. But, thanks for watching the Fireside Chat, and we'll see you on the next one.